Hey there and welcome! Ready to go on a super quick, super fun revision journey? We're about to zip through Units 7, 8, and 9. It's going to be a blast as we cover some really cool topics together. You ready?
Alright, so let's jump right in. Think of this as our roadmap for today's little adventure. First up, we've got family. Then we'll do a bit of time travel at the museum. After that, we'll meet some heroes at the hospital. And to wrap it all up, we'll see how you can use all this awesome new knowledge. So, let's get started.
Okay, first stop on our journey, Unit 7. This one is all about the people closest to us. Yeah, let's talk about family.
So, here are some really useful words for talking about the people in our lives. You start as a tiny baby, then you're a toddler finding your feet, then all of a sudden you're a teenager, and then a full-on adult. And of course, we've got words like nephew and cousin for our extended family. I bet you can even think of a few more, can't you? Okay, now this is super interesting. It's all about how we talk about when things happen. We use something called the present simple for routines, stuff we do over and over, like we visit our grandparents. But if something is happening right now, this very second, we switch to the present continuous, like Adam is building a tower. It's all about always versus now. See how that works?
All right, let's hop in a time machine with this awesome phrase, used to. It's perfect for talking about things that happened in the past, but well, they aren't true anymore. Take the example, I used to wear glasses. That little phrase tells us you don't wear them now. It's a neat little trick to show how things have changed.
Okay, you ready for a quick pop quiz? Let's see if you've got it. How would you fill in the blank here to talk about something you did in the past? I blank play with dolls when I was a child. Go on, take a second. What do you think?
Yes, you got it. It's used to. I used to play with dolls when I was a child. Awesome work. And here's where English gets a little bit sneaky, but in a fun way. That long oo sound, like in the word blue, well, it can be spelled in a bunch of different ways. You've got EW in new, UE in glue, and even UE like in cube. It's like a secret code. Once you see the pattern, you've got it.
All right, we've talked about our families today. So how about we take a trip to learn about families from way, way back in the past? That's right, we're off to the museum. Let's go uncover some secrets.
So when you're walking through a museum filled with ancient history, you're going to need some special vocabulary, right? We're talking about huge statues, incredible artifacts dug up from a tomb, and the amazing archaeologists who study them. And of course, you can't forget the pharaohs of ancient Egypt.
Okay, here's a super important grammar point. How do you know whether to ask how many or how much? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If you can count it, 1, 2, 3, like sculptures, you ask how many. But if you can't really count it, like a pile of clay, you ask how much. See? Countable versus uncountable. That's the whole secret. All right, let's put that new rule to the test. What do you think goes in the blank here? How blank temples are there? Just ask yourself, can you count temples?
Yes, exactly. It's many, because of course you can count temples. 1 temple, 2 temples. So you'd say, how many temples are there? You're a pro at this.
Let's check out a couple more cool sound tricks. You see that ending, tʃər? It makes a sure sound. Think sculpture, picture. And then there's sure, which has more of a soft zhur sound, like in measure or treasure. Keep your ears open for those sounds when you're reading. Okay, that trip to the museum was awesome. But now it's time for our final stop. We're going somewhere really important, a place all about healing and helping, the hospital. Let's learn about the heroes who work there and some super important rules to follow.
So, at a hospital, you'll hear some specific words. You might need an X-ray to take a picture of your bones, or maybe a bandage if you have a cut. A special kind of doctor, a surgeon, might perform an operation on a patient. And if you've hurt your leg, you might need crutches to help you get around.
This slide is great because it shows the difference between rules and facts. For rules, things you have to do or can't do, we use strong words like must and mustn't. You must listen. But for facts, things that are always true no matter what, we use the zero conditional. That sounds complicated, but it's just that if-then sentence. Like, if you freeze water, it becomes ice. That's a fact, right? Always true. Okay, one more little quiz. Let's talk about those hospital rules. How would you fill this in? You blank run in the hospital. What's the right word to use here?
You got it. You mustn't run in the hospital.
That's a really important rule to keep everybody safe. Great job!
Okay, get ready for a fun little brain teaser, homophones. These are super tricky words because they sound exactly alike but have totally different spellings and meanings. For example, you see with your eyes, but you swim in the sea. Same sound, different words.
All right, your turn to try. We have pear and pear. They sound the same, I know, but which one is the yummy fruit?
That's the one. P-E-A-R is the fruit. The other one, P-A-I-R, means two of something. You know, like a pair of shoes. You're getting so good at this.
And would you look at that? We've zipped through our entire revision. We covered family, explored history, and learned about hospitals. You've basically just leveled up your communication superpowers for describing everything around you.
So what's next? Here's a little challenge for you. Pick just one new word you learned today. Maybe it's artifact, or mustn't, or cousin, and try using it in a sentence. Go ahead, put that new knowledge to work. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you on our next learning adventure.